We do definitely see Tesla as one of the market leaders, both in electric vehicles and in autonomy. Again, reiterate that they're going to do a wide release of the full self-driving beta software to North American customers. So that signals confidence in that platform, which, by the way, we think is a multi-trillion-dollar market in the next 10 years.
Tesla has been on an absolute rampage, but what we have seen so far is nothing in comparison to what they're going to achieve going forward. And in fact, I am extremely confident that Tesla will do a 10x over the next 5 years, and if you just give me a few minutes of your time, I'll tell you why. You see, the legendary Cathie Wood was able to identify and invest in Tesla all the way back in 2014, and now they're the holy grail when it comes to EV companies. And as many of you know, Tesla is my biggest position by far, and for a good reason. But what most people fail to realize about Tesla is that none of this just happened overnight, or over just a couple of years. In fact, it took them 19 long years since being founded way back in 2003 to get to the dominant position that they are in today. So in this video, I will be sharing some information that will not only shock you, but it will make you think twice about not having some Tesla in your portfolio. But more on that later. So I am super excited to share this information with you guys, and it would mean a lot to me if you gently hit that like button and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm, if you haven't done so already. It's totally free and it just takes a split second. But with that being said, let's get right into the news, data, and facts. Now, I first recommended buying Tesla stock on this channel back when it was trading at around $100 pre-stock splits. And I said that the last quarter of 2022 would be a great month to be a Tesla investor. So all of my subscribers who bought in, major congrats. Now me, personally, not do I plan on selling a single share of Tesla anytime soon, but I actually plan on doubling my position because there are 3 major catalysts in particular that are quietly taking shape at the same time. And they will be the difference maker for Tesla. And we'll be outlining each one of them along with going over some key factors that not many people are talking about or even realizing, and yet they will have some massive implications on Tesla going forward. Now, before I go over the 3 major catalysts for Tesla, I want you guys to stick to the very end because I want to go over a key event that people are still not paying attention to, and it's something that I get asked about frequently. So the first major catalyst will be the record-breaking demand, because after shattering expectations, with quarterly deliveries growing to 343,000 vehicles, which is up 50% year over year, but also more importantly, based on what we already know, it's likely that Tesla will deliver close to 1.5 million vehicles in total this year. But they also confirmed that by the end of 2022, they should be able to manufacture up to 2 million vehicles by 2023. And at their current trajectory, Elon expects to achieve a 50% average annual growth on vehicle deliveries, which is extremely impressive, considering that Tesla has gone through factory shutdowns, a global recession, and supply chain issues, and for them to have the ability to scale that quickly and profitably is extremely important, considering that they can't even keep with the current demand as it is right now, with several outlets reporting that they have a backlog of over 1 to 3 months. But Tesla's main 2 core factories in Fremont, California, and Shanghai are approaching their max production capacity, but the company's newest vehicle factories in Texas and Germany are barely launched and have enormous room for growth. And as production ramps up there, Tesla is expected to go from an annual production capacity of a little more than 1 million vehicles to an annual production capacity of a little more than 2 million vehicles. And this will also help Tesla to launch the Cybertruck, which has reportedly been held back by limited production capacity and high demand for Tesla for the Model Y and the Tesla Model 3. But if you didn't think that they had enough demand as it is already, Tesla aims to produce a brand new Tesla model with a production cost of around 50% compared with the Model 3 and the Model Y. So this new model could exceed the production of all other electric vehicles combined, and given the fact that the Model 3 and Model Y are already among the top 20 best-selling vehicles in the US, the new model Tesla would have an incredibly high sales target, which could also start a new chapter for Tesla, because rather than offering premium cars that cost more than a year's salary, they would focus on growing a low-cost EV costing at just around $25,000. Which brings me to catalyst number 2, the Tesla stock buyback. Because you see, it's no surprise that demand for their cars has gone through the roof, meaning people want to buy Teslas and they want to see more products coming out of Tesla, but this means that fundamentals are only getting stronger. But this is not reflected in the stock price, and to some analysts out there, Tesla stock is incredibly undervalued. We all know by now that Tesla can far exceed Apple's market cap, and this is according to Elon Musk. And previously, Elon has teased the possibility of a $5 to $10 billion share buyback all the way back in August. But unfortunately, the stock buyback did not happen back then, and the buyback will happen in 2023 instead. And it could actually have something to do with the new buyback tax recently signed into law by Joe Biden that's set to go into effect in 2023. And this is extremely bullish for the stock because a share buyback program consists of a company buying its own shares at the market price. And it's generally a sign that the company believes its stock is undervalued and is a way to boost the stock price. And it looks like Tesla will more than likely be moving forward with the share buyback program soon. This also comes in a time where there is a lot of economic uncertainty, and I have also previously stated my reasons as to why Q4 could be tremendous for Tesla and its stock. But I'm going to link up the video right here if you need to catch up. Now here's the third and final catalyst, and we'll go over this one rather quickly since it's almost self-explanatory in the sense that it becomes quite obvious once you put the pieces of the puzzle together. And that is the fact that Tesla has a tremendous, almost built-in unfair advantage over the rest of the automotive industry, and primarily due to the fact that Tesla owns their whole autonomous ecosystem, whereas all the competitors only own 1 to 2 of the pieces required for a fully autonomous ecosystem. And in my eyes, their primary goal of their whole autonomous business is to continue to fuel the research and development for their ultimate goal of becoming an autonomous ride-hailing company. And the more Teslas they are able to sell, the more data they are able to collect, which improves their software and computer hardware even more. So clearly, Tesla is king when it comes to data, and now they're gonna have their own humanoid robot. And the idea behind this is to recycle the company's experience in the economies of scale in the development of their sensors, motors, batteries, and chips to create a robot that can do many jobs and that costs less than many cars, at around $20,000. And for us investors, this might be the next big opportunity, because Tesla also projects future growth that could become as valuable as its auto business. And this is something that could solve the labor shortage problems as a replacement for human workers where needed, and mass production and keeping prices affordable is something that we as investors can reap profits from. And yet, some short sellers still have the nerve to say that Tesla is not a technology company.
So Tesla is effectively valued as a high-growth company. And the problem is they're no longer growing.
And I am amazed by all the countless innovations that Tesla is constantly implementing in the solar energy space that honestly is not getting enough attention. So I might just make another video on that topic alone because I think it truly deserves it. And I think that without a doubt, things are about to get really exciting for Tesla shareholders, and this is going to be a ride you're going to be one to be part of, because Tesla is finally pushing through with the wide release of full self-driving. So anyone who has ordered FSD will have access to the FSD beta program later this year, as Elon Musk said it himself during their Q3 earnings call. Now this means that any customer who buys a Tesla car vehicle with FSD or has a vehicle and orders FSD will have access to the FSD beta. And this move was made possible because the safety that the company sees when the car is in FSD is actually greater and better than the safety they see when the car is only driven by a human pilot, which could bring the Tesla robotaxi much closer to reality. And when this vehicle becomes ready and is mass-produced, it's going to add massive value to Tesla as the realization of the robotaxi fleet happens, making Tesla the biggest company in the world, far surpassing Apple in market cap. Money. So to conclude, I wanted to repeat myself when I say that I believe the next couple of months will be massive, and that's actually because we have midterm elections, as this is historically bullish, meaning we see massive gains for the markets, and we could also see a few signs of improvements on the inflation data, which would be enough to start a rally in the markets. Now, going back to midterm elections, the returns for the S&P 500 index since 1931 has been very positive, and since 1950, the average one-year return following a midterm election is 15%. And this data does not lie, and you can keep saying, well, this year is different, like many people have done in the past, or like some YouTubers have been posting lately of massive doomsday approaching. But we've had wars, 9/11 happen, housing market crashes, recessions, pandemics, etc. all of which happened at the same time, and it seemed like the worst time ever. But midterm election years usually start off with a drop, then we rally really hard. And this aligns perfectly with what is happening right now in the markets. We had a terrible year so far with risk assets, and we are now in Q4, getting closer to the end of 2022, which could lead into a Santa rally. Now, we could also potentially see the Fed pivot on their policy at the end of the year once they see that they could potentially send the economy into massive depression. This is something that Cathie Wood and Elon Musk have already been talking about, stating that if interest rates are increased yet again, then it could send the prices down dramatically. And when people expect prices to decline, they often delay buying things until when they think prices will be lower, decreasing the overall demand. So if you add what is happening with the US economy, what could potentially happen there, in politics now, and what the fundamentals are saying for Tesla, then we should have a really great end of the year for Tesla investors. So with that being said, do not forget to follow me on social media and say hello there. I do love talking to you guys. Also, drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts right now on Tesla. Have you been buying in 2022, or are you still waiting to buying lower? Also, do not forget to like and subscribe for more content. Until next time.